MISSJO. That's how they say it in Latin. Anyway, hello gang, hello friends, hello gang friends. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this video finds you well. Are you well? I hope you're well. If you're new, hello. My name is Jo and I do nail stuff. She does stuff with nail stuff. And the stuff she does with nails, some with nail stuff and stuff for nails. Yeah. Before we get cracking today, let's have a look at the Madame Glam December collection because holy macaroni and cheese, it's amazing. I received it the other day, so I thought I'll show you quickly and then we can start getting blingy. This one, oh, I just missed the name. Crackling Fire. Gorgeous colour. Is it red? Is it orange? Is it terracotta? I'll let you decide. And then we have Rudolph, which is a sparkly, these are reflective polishes. I'll turn the flash on. And these match with, oh, look at it. Look at, so that matches the cream colour, the creme colour, however you want to say it. And then we have Oh Dear. And then we have a matching one for this. I think we use this colour today, maybe. Who knows? So that'd be really nice for Rudolph background. And then Chalet Time, which matches that one. I like that they have little companions. So this one again is another reflective one. Oh, stop it. Look how amazing it is. Expect this to be the next few minutes of me just oohing and ahhing. We have Feelin' Pine. I watched a Christmas film yesterday and wasn't just sitting down watching Christmas films. I had it on whilst I was working. And that was Pine Farm Christmas or something. Oh, look at Saferies. Oh, amazing. So this one matches Feelin' Pine. I love cheesy Christmas film. I like to play in my head cheesy Christmas film bingo because they all have to have at least 5, maybe 6 or 7 out of 10 things that you will find in a Christmas film. Oh, wait, this blue. I've never in my life seen a blue like this. The striper we had the other day in the calendar, thought that was amazing. But that one is like even more amazing. And then this one matches that one. In a Christmas film, there's obviously a girl looking for love. Oh, because, you know, we all need to find our Prince Charming, apparently. And then she's either lost a parent or the guy that she ends up with, his wife died, you know, almost 2 years ago. This tends to be the mark. And then, this purple as well. Sorry. I can't describe colours. I just can't. What else has to happen? At some point they have to bake Christmas biscuits. They usually have to have met in, this is the colour I have on my nails. It's insane. My nails are already a bit of a mess again now, but such is December and nails. They have to meet in a way that where they've had an argument or something, and then it turns out, oh, she's the person I was supposed to be having a meeting with. Oh no. Or someone wants to buy part of the town and she doesn't want to give it up, or someone likes Christmas, someone doesn't like Christmas, and they always have to turn them into a Christmas fan. Anyway, these are the Christmas colours from Madame Glam. The purple and the black don't have a cream because it would just be black, which they already have. The purple, I suppose, could have had one, but there isn't. And this is with the flash on. It's a bit washed out because it was just blinding with the flash on. Absolutely. Look at that blue. It's so beautiful. They're all amazing. So reflective, so sparkly. So don't forget, you can use code MISSJO30 for a whopping 30% off your Madame Glam orders. So go and get yourself, you just treat yourself. You've been buying other people presents, buy yourself a present and get some or all of the December collection. Right, let's begin. We are starting with Pink Liberty, and we are going to paint a nail with it. I can't remember if I do 2 coats of all of these for the video, but we're curing. And then I'm taking the Makartt Rhinestone Glue. This glue is it's a gel that you cure. It's amazing, but the bottle is the spout. Apparently, it's quite common that, well, a lot of you have said you've had issues with your spout as well. It kind of breaks off. They have sent me a new one actually. So, but I'm going to still use the broken bottle until it runs out. So I've added a circle of this glue and then done some arms coming out of it, because this is going to be a snowflake. And to get this circle, I've done I'm leaving a gap in the middle. I've done a crystal at the top of the circle, the bottom, and then 2 at the sides of that. And then where we've got little arms coming out of each crystal, we're going to add 2 caviar beads. You can do any colour you like, but I'm doing silver. And then we will, so I haven't cured anything yet. I'm going to wiggle it around with my cuticle stick until everything's where I want it. And then you could cure and then carry on, but I don't think I did. I'm adding a little bit more at the end, well, quite a decent blob at the end of the caviar beads, because we're going to add 3 more crystals in a bunch. So we'll do 2 and then 1, like a little triangle, a little pyramid. I think when planning what you're going to do crystal pattern wise, it's good to hold it up to the nail before you start, because this was it wasn't this one, there's another snowflake one we do at the end, towards the end. That was the first one I did actually, is near the end. And I got the crystals out that I thought would be perfect. And once I put them onto the nail, it was huge. So these crystals are tiny, tiny. I think when doing a pattern like this, get the size that you think will be the right size crystal, then go like 2 sizes smaller, 3 even, because once you get it on, it's huge on the nail, it seems. So we're adding another bit of the gem glue gel. I'm going to call it gem gel. The gem gel at the end of at the top of the pyramid, and we're going to add a little caviar bead, and then we can cure everything. Make sure you might want to give it another wiggle around with a cuticle stick, make sure everything is where you want it, and then cure. And now I'm topping with a velvet top coat, so I'm going to use this to seal in around everything. I'm going to use velvet on all of the nails in this video because I love how crystals look on a matte or velvet background. I just think they pop, they stand out more. And also when you top with clear, where you can't just do a straight swipe over the nail with your top coat because there's crystals there, you can see you don't get a straight light line. So if I did this with with a shiny top coat, it would have some wiggles in the light line, and that just annoys the shit out of me. And look, oh, now it pops. So I used a detail brush to get in the nooks and crannies. I think on a person I would probably put a tiny blob of shiny top coat over the caviar beads just to seal them in and so they don't lose their colour. So that is crystal nail number 1. 9 to go. 9 times of me saying I'm going to put a crystal here. Now I'm putting a crystal here. Now I'm putting a crystal here. And now caviar bead. This colour is Braveheart. So we've cured that. And then I'm trying to map out the pattern of what I'm doing first. So look at the crystals you're using. I always get the pattern planned out and have the crystals laid out in the pattern on the desk, so that I don't know, it just makes it easier. But I have found that even looking at the pattern that I have laid out next to me and adding the gel in that sort of shape on the nail, I can't do very well. Because look how I went a bit OTT with the crystal gel on this one. Oh, I'm taking some little rods. We'll go with rods from this wheel, which is just a wheel from eBay or Amazon or somewhere like that. Nail art wheels is a good thing to search. There's billions of different kinds. And we're going to make little antlers for our Rudolph. I did find a teardrop shaped crystal after I'd finished this nail, which probably would have worked better, but I'm quite okay with his head being that shape. So we will wiggle everything in place, and then where I've put too much gel on the nail, I'm going to take a small detail brush and then just thin it all out once I've stopped fucking around with the antlers. Here we go. So I'm thinning it out, but I'm not putting my brush right up to the crystal. I'm leaving a little sort of wall around the crystal to really hold it in place. So we'll spread this out. I just shouldn't have put that much on, but it's okay. It's rectifiable. And then we will cure. So the little dots either side of his weird shaped head are his ears. Yeah. I'm not prepared again. Some of these, was there many? I'm not sure. If any of these came from inspo, from something I'd seen online, I will put their name on the screen. But I need to go through and check and see because I can't remember. So I'll do that post voice over. And then again, I'm topping with matte and using a detail brush to get in the nooks and crannies. And I think maybe with these rods, you could, with rods and things like the rods and the caviar beads, you can seal in with a top coat. But obviously crystals, oh, look at it now, it's matte, it's amazing. Just looks so much nicer on matte. But again, if you want to do shiny, you do shiny. That's fine. It doesn't mean you have to have the whole set as matte. This is, what was I saying? Rods and things. You can top coat in clear just to really seal them in, stop them losing their colour, and that sort of thing. Yes, MG Airlines. We used this in the video the other day. This is from the Advent calendar. This is such a nice colour. Goes amazing with anything rose gold. So I've cured that and then I'm wiping and buffing because we are taking the Vetsy Line Art Gel, which I use for when I want to paint something that I then want to chrome with a chrome powder or any kind of pigment that needs rubbing in to usually a cured no wipe top coat, but it works great on this. So I'm going to do we're going to do some brackets. There we go. A bracket. and then here I'm putting a bit of pressure down and then lifting and pulling towards the bracket. It's antlers. Same with that one. And this brush has like one hair sticking out the end, which actually bode well here. So, because it gave it a little point, although I do add more of that. So it doesn't matter if your brush doesn't do that. And then on some of them, if I didn't have a big enough bead of gel on the end of my brush here, you'll see it when I do this one. I press and then I just hold it there for a second and it kind of deposits a bit more. So just hold it there for a sec and then lift off as we pull towards where we're going. So either press down a bit or just hold it there for a sec, let it deposit a little bead and then pull it down. And then I'm going to just wisp out from the thicker bits, the dots where we started. And then we are curing. And I'm taking this chrome palette, which I got off Amazon recently. I will put a link in the description for it. I think the link takes you to a different colour one, but you can select different palettes underneath on the item. So we're going to chrome over the little antlers, which kind of look like some kind of frond, but that's fine. No worries. It will look like an antler in a minute. Maybe, maybe not. And then I'm going to dust off the excess pigment, and we're going to use pink, kind of opaly white, and a goldy topazy crystal. So we'll add a line of the gem gel, and then I think this was inspired by a picture. Yes, it was. Oh, jet something. I'll put it on screen. And then we are going to add crystals to this little band. You know, like how there was the unicorn sort of trend of doing some crystals with a horn coming out the top, and then some like closed eyes with lashes. I should have done that on here, but I didn't. So I think it still kind of looks like what it's meant to look like a reindeer with a tiara on. The reindeer queen. It's the reindeer queen with a little tiara. But yeah, I didn't do any lashes or eyes on this one. But I was going for not so much, well, just crystal placement as opposed to having to really paint much. So these I'm putting, obviously getting smaller as they go towards the side, these crystals. Then we've got a couple of caviar beads underneath the big middle one, caviar beads in between, or where the circle joins another circle, that little V shape they make where they touch. I'm putting crystals in, caviar beads in there. And then I'm going to matte top everything, or velvet top everything, and then we'll go over the antlers with shiny, which I'm kind of annoyed I did, because I think it looks better matte. Yeah. Oh, I could have just then gone over it with matte again. Sometimes if you double matte top, it doesn't just make it matte again, it makes it a bit dull. So we just kept them shiny. Should I be talking about where I'm placing the crystals, like describing I'm putting one here and then I'm putting a smaller one next to it and then one underneath, because I don't know, you know. It's just going to be very repetitive, but you can see where I'm putting them. And obviously you can put crystals, you know, they don't have to be exactly the same as what you see. If you want to do a bigger one there or a smaller one there, or you know, different colors or whatever, then you do you. Oh, off she gallops. Oh no, she's just antlers, so off she gets nailed to a wall, because that's kind. There's a green here. That's all I'm saying about it for now. It's top secret information at the moment. So I'm using the gem gel, and we're doing a V because we're going to do a Christmas tree. I think this one's my favorite. This green, I love it. Not normally a fan of green, but this one has done something to me. So we're doing a big triangle at the bottom, taking it all the way to the tip. And then I want red and gold and pearls on this one. So I'm getting a big red one and a big gold one on first. And then we're just going to cover the bejesus out of it in more crystals. And then some of these pearls, which is just from a nail art wheel that I got from eBay a zillion years ago. And then once they're on, I'm going to fill in the gaps with gold caviar beads, and then just wiggle around until it's kind of the shape I want. I think I wanted it a bit narrower and taller. So wiggle around as much as you like, because it's gel, so it's not moving until you cure it. Unless you have an LED or UV light above your desk, which turns out the one I use on my desk is, but I'm guessing it's very mild because I've never had any issues with it curing products, apart from that one time where I spent so long trying to do a crystal placement thing that they had started to cure, and I thought I was a wizard. So I've now matte topped. I don't know why I did it in this order. I should have put this on before matte topping, but because I didn't want the gem gel to ooze out onto the mat, I've put a blob in the middle. I'm kind of sealing this on from the inside out, so I've put a big blob inside the star hole, and that's kind of gripping onto everything enough. And then I'm just going to wipe the tackiness off the gem gel. I'm not going to matte inside it because it's pretty much full up with the gem gel. And obviously that's not leaving much of a shine if it's been wiped. That one, I love it. The colours, all nice and traditional. I like those sort of Christmas colours. So now we're taking Mountain Peak from the Advent calendar. Obviously you can change the colours of any of these. They don't have to be exactly the same. And we're going to do 2 coats. It's the season to be clumsy. Oh my goodness, the amount of pots of crystals I knocked over filming this video was ridiculous. So we're starting now with a big circle. I'm using a dotting tool, big circle with the gem gel. I'm using the same gem gel throughout. It's kind of the only one I'll use now, just because I know it's super sturdy, no, durable, whatever. It's really good and it works well and things stay put. And then we're taking a mix of fuchsia, pink and some clear crystals, and we're just going to slap a bunch on in this circle. But the same as with the tree, if I want a big one of each, I get those on first and then just work around it. And then we're taking some caviar beads in silver and this kind of fuchsia colour, which came from a set that I think I will show you the bottles of some of them a bit later on. They're from Amazon, or was it eBay? One or the other. I'll see if I can find a link for them. It's a really cute set. So we've fiddled around to make sure that our circle is circular and then cured it, and then again we will use a velvet top to go around everything. This was inspired by and I love these colours together. Did she have grey on hers for the background? I'm not sure, but the pink and the fuchsia and the, oh, I love it. So I'm going to mark out where the centre is, or eyeball it from using the tip and kind of working up. And we're going to do a line from the bauble, it's a bauble, and then another flick, pressure, and then lift off as you pull towards where you're going. And then just a little flick out of the top. Notice how it looks different if you flick from the, so I'm not flicking from the centre of the sort of dot from our flicks on the side. Does that make sense? I'm flicking from the top. So let's see if so there, not coming out of the centre of that dot, I'm coming out from just the top, and it gives a different look, obviously, because it's a different bloody thing. But yeah, I quite liked that. I did do this a few times because the first few times it looked like a pineapple. So here is a festive pineapple / bauble. I love those colours together. And you don't have to do little flicks or anything. Just do one line for a bauble, or none. Just a festive circle. Now we are using the colour Dreamer. Nice warmy kind of Bailey's colour. And we'll do maybe 1 coat, maybe 2, I think 2. Most of their polishes, I find, Madame Glam's polishes, I find full coverage in 1 coat. Always do 2 coats on a person. But on a pop, sometimes I'll just do 1, just not to be wasteful if I don't need to. But I think some of them, I think this one I did 2. And then we're doing a big straight line, a rectangle, a vertical rectangle. And we're going to do a candle. This is inspired by a picture. I mean, all of the ones that are inspired by, they're not exact replicas, but they're you know, I wouldn't have had this idea without seeing the picture. I thought this was really cool. So we're using, oh, this is a blink and you'll miss it. Did the rectangle, added this little open frame for the top, for the part of the flame, and then put some orange ones inside it. If you don't have that open frame, then then you don't have to do that. I mean, obviously it really, I think, worked well for the shape of a candle, but you could just do a teardrop shape crystal upside down, so the pointy bits at the top. Just whatever you have, you can use. I've done most of these with round crystals because I don't have that many other shaped crystals. So, and I think, you know, I don't imagine everyone has like billions of different shapes of crystals. Most of mine are round. And we did the pearls underneath the flame to be kind of wax coloured. I love that one. I would never have thought of that. Bravo to the inspo. And now we're taking a light creamy pinky nudie. And why are we covering the whole thing? Oh yes, no, wait. Oh yes, that was matte. That was velvet top coat. So these are the little pots I was talking about. And I will mention, like I always do when I show these, that they're not uniform in size, those caviar beads, which is a bit annoying. But today I was choosing not to let it bother me. Now we're taking the gem gel and we're going to do 4 caviar beads, then 3 above, 2 above that, 1 above that, and then 1 at the bottom for a tree and its trunk. And then I'm doing that in a few different colours. I kind of go a really weird way about this. This was inspired by, and I think she had a brown background with, and they were all gold, and it looked gorgeous, but I just fancied doing something more colourful. And then we're putting a matching crystal at the top. So we'll put caviar bead at the bottom, and then a little, this one's a bit bigger than the rest of the crystals, but it's the only one I had that matched it. And then we'll do that with some other colours as well, but I am flash curing as I go so they stay in place. But I don't feel comfortable having caviar beads just out on their own in the wild like this, you know, not rested in the nooks and crannies of bigger crystals. I feel they're very vulnerable and might just pick off. So I kind of took steps to ensure they wouldn't, so that if you did want to do this on yourself or a client, then they're going to stay in place. It's all well and good them looking nice like this. Looks great. We're going to put some single ones by themselves here. Just know they're not going to stay in place if you just leave them like that. They will pick off or just ping off the same day. So I thought, how can we do this and make it a wearable design? So I'm going over the caviar beads with top coat here, and I'm letting it, if you imagine a ball and you put a gel on top of it, that gel's going to work its way around the sides, circles don't have sides, around the sides of the ball, and kind of land and rest on at the bottom on the surface it's laying on. So that's what's going on, zoomed in my head. I'm putting a dollop on top, and then it's going all the way around it, covering the ball and then touching the nail. And then I took it one step further and I'm using top coat over the caviar beads as well. Annoyingly, I think that one the colour started to bleed, which is maybe the case for some cheaper caviar beads. The colours sort of come off, so I've sealed them all in with top coat as well, just because it's just not wearable. I think otherwise they'll just ping off. They're just, you know, they just will. So that's a functional way of doing them. Probably doesn't look as nice as having them kind of in their raw form just sat on the nail, but you know, they look nice, it's fine, but they've got to last as well. So I found this big blingy bow I found a little pot with loads of them in. I don't think I've used them once. I've used one before, but just once in like 8 years. If you don't have a bow gem, then you can use little triangle gems, or you can use small round gems to make a bow shape. But I figured I've had these for ages, let's put one to use. So I cured that in place first, just on the center of the bow. That's the only bit that's kind of touching the nail. And then I've done a circle, and this is going so quickly. I'll tell you why, when I was editing this, I was like, there's no way I can talk about putting crystals on a nail for this long. So I started to speed things up. And I just thought people will be bored. So then we've added to that circle red, gold, pearls, and some silver and gold caviar beads, because I wanted the silver to tie in with this big silver bow. But I just love this colour theme so much from the Christmas tree one. So I thought we'll do a wreath the same. And this is the green that I've fallen in love with but not saying anything about yet. On the sides here, this was a person where the bow is flat and obviously the nail is curved. I would use gem gel to fill in, not the whole gap, but to pad out the gap between the sides of the bow and the natural nail, or the nail in general. Just so it's not only being held on by that middle bit, because you don't want it to have any leverage to be picked off or catch on anything and ping off. So we have topped that in matte and used a detail brush to do the middle bit in matte as well. And that's a wreath. Aretha, I'm going to call that Aretha Franklin. And now we're taking, is this Hi-Biscus? Hi-Biscus, I think it's got a hyphen in it, hasn't it? And we are doing, I've run out of air. We are doing another snowflake. Calm down, it's okay. This video only has to be finished and out today, no stress. So we're doing another snowflake, so I'm trying to get the pattern on first. And you can always add more gel and wiggle things around, especially if you're going, if you're not topping before doing the crystals and just leaving the crystals sort of unsealed in, then it's not that big a deal, because you're going to, if you move things around, you can still faff about with it before topping. So the bits of gel that I've got in the wrong place, it doesn't matter, because we're not finished yet. We haven't topped yet, is what I mean. So we've done a line of 3, the middle one first, and then either side of that line, we've put 2 more so that they rest in the gaps between the middle and the top and the middle and the bottom crystal. And that's given us a little sort of starry type circle. The starry type circle, those shapes that are really similar. And then we're going to add even smaller crystals on each of them, and then some caviar beads in between the crystals that make up the circle around in the center, and then I think some caviar beads at the top of each of these ones. And I put quite a big, it's not big in in life in general, it's tiny, but big for what we're doing. A big bead of gem gel here, because I want to sink the caviar bead into it. That, I think, probably would have been a better way to do the one with the little caviar bead trees just now. Put a big blob of gem gel down and really completely seal in the caviar bead with it. But I had already matte topped, so I should have matte topped after putting all the trees on, so that we could seal things in better. And this is the second snowflake. Nice easy one, I think, this one, but again, go smaller than what you think, because I think 3 times I sized it down after I put the first crystal on the nail, and I thought, no, that's going to be far too big once we've added everything to it. And then tried again, still too big, tried again. So they're really tiny. But oh, look at it now, it's matte. I love it so much. I think that's one of my favourites. It's a bit out of focus, but that's okay. Sparkly looks nice in or out of focus. And then we have one more. I've saved the best till last. Well, no, I still think the green ones are my favourite. But this one has stars on it. Yay! Stars! So I'm taking Mahalo, which is another amazing blue. Maybe I just think all blues are amazing because I love the colour blue. That's probably why. But this one is a good blue. And we're going to only do one coat of that because it doesn't need a second coat. And then we're going to try and map out a star shape, but not a star where, or is it? Yeah. I was drawing in the air. You can't see. Mapping out a star shape with the gem gel. And then we're going to do a little sort of triangle. So one at the top and then one at the bottom side of the center crystal. And then one in between all of that. That was just the best way to start for mapping it out, I think. So it kind of looks like a flower now, but we're going to put some caviar beads in between. You'll see that there ends up being 2 in between each crystal because that was the plan. But then I thought, no, it didn't seem to be enough room for 2. So I end up picking one out of each one. There we go. Just collecting them in between my fingers. That's why my hands are always such a mess in videos. There we go. I've got gel all over them. Or they look really dry because there's isopropyl alcohol all over them, just eating away at my skin. So we've just put one crystal now in between each of those outer crystals. And then we'll add a bit more gem gel to the tops of each of the outer crystals. Probably not as much as I should have, but yeah, this was the 10th one. I was done. MISSJO does not do crystal placement, so hopefully that's it. I'm done for at least a year. I don't have to worry too much about doing crystals in videos. And then this one, oh, this is so cute. So a single crystal and then 4 caviar beads at 12, 3, 6 and 9. And it looks like a little star. That's like the dot version of stars when we paint a star and then do dots around it. And your brain just goes, oh, they're stars as well. That's what that one is. Love it. And then we will matte everything. And I'm kind of wishing now that I just did more stars over the whole nail, like an even smaller one of the big one and then an even smaller one of the little one. But we're adding some dangly bits, some string, and then a bit of a curve, and then we'll just add some dots and call it a day. Couple of lines, couple of dots. There you go. Suddenly looks a bit more decorative. But I didn't want to do too much painting in this video because it's not what we're here for. We're here for bling. And then that, and I did that with gel paint, so it doesn't need topping, so that's fine, just left like that. But if you did want any of these shiny, again, do them shiny. And this is all of them. Look at all the bling. Oh, I do like bling. I'm just rubbish at coming up with things, which is why half of these, or maybe it was all of them, I don't know, I can't remember. But I put, hopefully I've put the names on screen of the inspo. But I just stuck coming up with ideas for bling, but I love these. The green with the red and the gold. Oh, it's just Christmas. Love it. I hope you like them. I hope you've got some ideas. If you're thinking of doing some bling nails, don't forget you can top over your caviar beads to seal them in. It will stop them from losing their colour and it will, help to keep them on. So that is all 10 without, and now I think this is with flash. I hope you like them. If you do, then give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you being here so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.